Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with a pop-up live. I had stated in my last video that if I am staying home today, that I will go ahead and do a pop-up live. So I am just going to wait for people to filter in. Might be a bit difficult to see what exactly I have in front of me here. I am missing just a few items that I did not bring home, namely pickles and olives, and a couple of the other cheeses which I did not take from the cheese tray, that had a couple of cheeses and olives and pickles and some kind of a pork sausage or regular pepperonis. I had to do a bit of combining just to fit everything here onto my little tray. But what I have in this blue bowl is a few different kinds of chips that were just combined into the one bag, and I brought what was left in that bag home. I'll set that aside just to get it out of the way for the moment. Here are some of the crackers. These are the pickleballs. This is what they look like. Then underneath that, I have the party mix. Might be able to see a bit of it there. I can lift some of these. So just a party mix. And then this one is the puppy chow. Then this is like a white chocolate covered puff corn. And then there's some other little sweet chocolates. And then underneath that are some cookies. And this one has a fruit salad that my mom made, and she put a tiny bit of cheese on it, actually cheddar cheese, and believe it or not, it works. And then this is just mixed fruit here. Here you can see open the difference between the turkey pepperoni and the beef pepperoni. And then this cheese I had in my shopping haul, what I did was I cut it into smaller pieces so that it could fit onto a tray that I had arranged with my pepperonis. And I have two different cheese dips. The one on the left is the chicken. It's like a buffalo chicken cheese dip, and then the other is the chili cheese dip that we have all the time. And then here are the beef bacon wrapped little smokies and water chestnuts. A couple of them have stuck together, but that is a water chestnut. And then this is the little smoky wrapped in beef bacon. And then what my sister does is she adds brown sugar part way through the baking process so that you don't burn the sugar. You caramelize it, but you don't burn it. So I'm just going to put that bowl there. But I wanted to go ahead and set this up for you all just to see some of the things that we brought. Another person made pickle wraps, but uh, deli thin sliced ham is used on that, so I don't eat those. But that is what we do. Shadow Scout Sweet is here. Thanks for dropping in. So this is actually my lunch today. And what my family does is this is what we grew up with. This is all that I knew as a kid was just having snacks. On December 24th, so we have continued this tradition on throughout the years. Now, Delicious is here. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, beef bacon. It's really good. I get mine from an Iowa-based company called Midamar, but there are other companies who make it. Some of the companies do certified halal, some do not. There may be some brands that may be certified kosher. Got Bodine's Life in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But this buffalo chicken dip is a bit spicy, but it's not too bad. And if you combine the two, they're pretty good. My oldest sister, who plays pickleball in the warmer months, she thought the dill pickle flavored snack, the Vlasic branded pickleballs, were pretty good. She had a few handfuls of them, but I brought the rest of them home. You know, they got a bunch of stuff there to munch on probably the next couple of days. So that is, and everybody split up my mom's Jello salad. I have some coffee off to my right. But we had a good time last night. That's a toothpick that broke, but I'll just set that off to the side. But these, you wrap the beef Little Smoky or whatever flavor Little Smoky, or the water chestnut in a half a slice of the bacon. You put a toothpick through it, and you lay them out in a pan. You put barbecue sauce on them, and then partially through the baking process. Like I said, my sister adds brown sugar. Then you get that sweetness plus the savoriness from the bacon and whatever you wrap. It's an easy to do snack or hors d'oeuvre. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and eat all of this, but I wanted to show you what I have and what some of these things are. This cheese is actually, the package called it panini style cheese. It's very mild, kind of like a Swiss cheese, but not the Swiss cheese flavor. But it was bigger squares, so in order to make it closer to the size of the pepperonis, I cut the pieces into a smaller size. Hello Groceries doesn't always have the beef pepperoni, but when I'm able to get it, I like to. There's a slightly different spice than your traditional turkey or pork pepperoni. And I like the extra bit of spice that this has. The buffalo chicken cheese dip, I was telling the others that that would be good on top of a big old baked potato. It would be a great topping for that. Of course, a chili cheese dip would be good on top of a big baked potato as well. But we dip tortilla chips or corn chips or even the denser crackers that can hold up to dipping through something that thick. Or I'll just eat it right out of the container. The pickleball is green all the way through. They're light and airy like your basic cheese ball, but just a dill pickle flavor instead of the cheese flavor. And as I said when I showed it in my previous video, I got the last one the store had, and some of the employees didn't even know it was there. They thought I was trying to describe something else. I said, no, it's Vlasic branded. It says pickleballs. It's a green and blue bag. And then one of them finally found it. And another one says, oh yeah, now I remember seeing that. The crackers are, this one is one of the club crackers. And then got Ritz. And then this is half of a one called a chicken and a biscuit. It's kind of a chicken seasoning flavored cracker. I used to eat a lot of those when I was younger. But I don't typically buy those for myself as much. So it's a treat when I go to a relative's house or a friend's house and they're serving these. I'll eat them. I would not try dipping any of these in this because this is so thick. A party mix that one of my sisters makes has different flavors of the Chex cereal, like the rice Chex, corn Chex, sweet Chex, maybe another one, some pretzels, and maybe some nuts, and then they add a bit of seasoning to it. There are all kinds of recipes for these types of party mixes online and on YouTube. My mom likes them, but she doesn't eat them because she has a hard time with the little bits getting underneath her dentures, and that aggravates her. So she tends to stay away from anything that would present an issue like that. I'm going to be on here for who knows how long. But after a bit, I will go ahead and clear my table, and I will start bringing up some things that I came home with. Oh, this is a little bit of what is in the party mix. There's a cashew, the goldfish crackers, and then what we call super oyster crackers. They're saltines, but they're really small. They're round. Cashews are my favorite nut, by the way. I figured I would come live just to have an online place for people to hang out if they're not doing anything today. If they do not celebrate Christmas or they have done their family stuff yesterday. And just maybe looking for a live chat to hang out in. That's why I decided to go ahead and do that since I'm staying home. Yep. Very, yeah, it's a big variety. And again, this is not all that we had last night. I just didn't bring home some of the things that were there. But I'll continue to nibble on this for a while. Sometimes the snacks may change from year to year. What people decide to bring or make. But some of the things stay the same. This fruit mix over here is that was a smashed raspberry. Got mandarin orange. Got blueberries, red grapes, huge blackberry. There's pineapple and mango. So that's why some of the colors look a little off on the fruit, is because the dark fruits are gonna ooze out a little bit of color. Oh, thanks, Shadow. That's awesome. These are the Tostitos scoops. This is a whole one. It's almost a bowl-shaped mini tortilla chip. So they can scoop up. Then the red and green ones are simply colored. That's a limited edition tortilla chip color. Or, yeah, as in, it's a limited time run. But instead of the cranberry ginger ale last night as one of our drink options, someone brought in some apple cider. And so we were drinking that. Plus we had a few different sodas and coffee. But that apple cider is pretty good. And in another chat, someone had mentioned the blackberry Canada dried ginger ale. One of my sisters had seen it, but no one had tried it. So I don't know if that is still, that will be available for very much longer. And some of the other sodas like 7-Up has a cranberry flavor. It's another one of those limited run things where it's holiday specific. Just like those turkey dinner and pumpkin pie flavored cup noodles that I reviewed. Old Smoker reviewed the pumpkin pie flavored one, but not the turkey dinner one. Where I opened up both. Now this, pick up a couple of these. This snack called Puppy Chow, there are a few different variations, and it also goes by their names. But it is a cereal called Crispix, but you could do this with the Chex cereal. It just has a different shape. You dip it in melted chocolate, and you may add other things. Some might add peanut butter, mix with the chocolate, and then you coat it with powdered sugar. We have, ever since we first heard about this mix, one of my sisters started making it, and so we've had it for quite a number of years. And then this puff corn, it gets dipped in white chocolate, which is also known as almond bark. So you get that savory and the sweet. The popcorn is something that my mom can eat because with regular popcorn, sometimes the kernel does not completely pop, and some parts of it can get stuck underneath her dentures. And when you get something underneath a denture, that can be real annoying, especially if your gums are sensitive. So that is one that she has no trouble eating. And this is coconut. Oh, some of the powdered sugar from the puppy chow got on here, but this has coconut on top of a thin piece of chocolate. Then this is a pretzel ring with chocolate. And while a chocolate is still hard or still soft, then a nut is put on top. That was bits of walnut on top of that one. I got coffee here. And I have that off to my right. Simply because this little fold-up table does not have much room. As I said at the beginning, I had to combine some things in order to show everything that I have here. But there are a couple of, there's some cookies underneath all of these. I gave out a few presents last night. I gave my mom a couple of puzzle books, which she loves doing, and they happen to be ones that she had not seen yet. One of them is regular size print, the other's a large print. That way, if she feels like the large print one would be better, she can pull that one out. She can switch back and forth between them. And I had a couple of little goodies for my in-law nephews or in-law great nephews. My niece's cousin has a couple of adorable boys. One not so little anymore, but the older of those two boys loves being a big brother. So I gave them, they were not there, but another relative will take them there. And then I had a bunch of Olites with me. And so I passed out all but one of those that I took with me. I had given a few other relatives Olites in the past, so I just wanted to hand out a few more. And a couple of them had been thinking about carrying a small flashlight with them, or at least having a light in their vehicle. And so the one that I gave my oldest sister for her birthday back in October, she keeps that one in her car. She may not keep it in her purse like my mom does. My mom carries hers in her purse. So she always has that handy, even at home, because she always has her purse close by where she sits when she's on her computer. So she has that she can grab when the power goes out in her apartment. And then I had given her, a year after I gave her that flashlight, I gave her one of the Olight O bulbs, which was the precursor to this. So I told her, because that can be charged, then if you need a night light in a bathroom, you can take that and use that as your night light in a bathroom, or just wherever she may want it. So that is so those are the two that she has. And then I had given my great niece several years ago, when she was younger, a pink oboe when Olight had the pink color out. I gave her one of those so she can have a rechargeable night light. And then I had given one of my other sisters an Olight flashlight. It happened to be a pink one because pink is her color. When she needed to have a walker before and after her first ankle surgery, she had to get a red walker because she couldn't get a pink one in the style that she needed. But when she got a cane, she insisted that had to be a pink one. So I've been turning my family onto Olight. You know, they're some of the smaller models are not very expensive, but they're still quality built, and they're happy to have them. Now the two little boys, one is getting the younger one is getting a larger version of that O bulb. It's a lot bigger than this. And then the other one I don't know if he has a bike or not, but kids a bike light that would be geared for kids. So I happen to have a blue one. So he is going to get that. I thought that would be fun. So he may have a bike with training wheels or he may have a trike, but now he can ride in the dark. Yeah, they live on a small farm, so that'll be great for riding around outside at night. And I figured he was old enough he could be responsible for taking care of a simple light like that. Introducing them to just having lights around that they can have for emergencies. And my oldest sister, she likes candles, but she only lights them up at this time of the year. And so she was given a few different holiday themed candles, and she lit one of them. The other two, oh, the one that she lit was part of a set of three. She just wanted to light one of them. And my great niece, she's a freshman in high school, so she was getting things that teenagers like, especially teen girls. So the only toy she got was a pair of fidget toys, but one of them was broken, so my sister who got it will have to try to get a replacement or at least a refund on the one that was not broken, or the one that was broken. The other one was. But at least one of them she can still manipulate. She has been dealing with anxiety for a few years for one reason or another, and having some kind of a fidget toy is something that she can just kind of focus her mind on to get herself centered. And it's better to do something like that than something that would be more, yeah, not so healthy. And we kind of kicked around the idea of next year maybe doing like a secret name draw at Thanksgiving, and then when we all get back together a month later, then say I picked my oldest sister. I would go get something for her and then wrap it, but it would not have my name on it. And say my brother would pick my name. He would put my name on it, but not his. They call that Secret Santa. One year when I was working at a company called MCO in their customer service department, we did that. And I found this cool little gag gift that I thought was absolutely hilarious. It was a really tiny coal bucket, probably about well, you could fit it inside. You could fit it inside my mugs, my coffee mugs. And inside it, it had black licorice shaped like lumps of coal. And then there was a really tiny hammer on top of it, maybe about that long. And that was on top of it, and then that was wrapped up. And so I thought that was just too funny. So I got that for the person whose name I drew. And when she was on break, I planted it on her desk. And then I went about my business as if nothing happened, because we staggered our breaks so that there was always at least 2 to 3 people taking incoming phone calls and making outgoing calls. So that's what we did. And when she saw that, she opened it up. She thought that was the funniest thing she'd ever seen. So I've done that with other groups as well. A few years ago, when the members of the White Eagle Multicultural Powwow Committee had after holiday get together, we did the same thing. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I think we're going to do that have a get together sometime next month instead of just a regular meeting, or we may combine a meeting and a party. I'm not sure how that's going to go yet, but I've already got something set aside for that. Of course, next month is my birthday, January 11th. So that's on a Sunday, so I will have something very fun for that stream. I'm going to pull a few goodies from my stash and put them together to make a meal. Had to give you a close up of that, my mom's creation. It's a different take on your typical Jello salad, which you could have as a salad or dessert, depending on your preference. These party mixes, I forgot to mention this earlier, but after you put the seasoning, you use a little tiny bit of oil to help the seasoning stick to individual pieces, and then you put it in the oven for a few minutes. This is a rye chip. There's a brand called Gardettos, and this is usually in that particular mix. So they include this as well. I'll be right. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. But that's okay. Shadow, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, it is getting towards evening there in that little piece of Sweden he occupies. I think what I'm going to do I'm going to eat a little bit more of this fruit, and then I'm going to clear all this. And then whoever does not catch this live will catch the replay. And what I'm going to do is I'll be eating this stuff for the next, well, I'll eat some more of this tonight for my dinner. And because I have more of the cheese and the pepperoni, I'll be finishing those off. But what I want to do now is I want to show you what else I came home with. So it'll take me a few minutes to clear all these. I'll just dump these back into the bag that I got them out of. But everything else, and I have a Ziploc bag that I'll dump these into. But for the rest of these, I have the lids. These are the containers that I have gotten sliced meats out of. So I reuse these containers a lot. And my sisters as well get those. So I'll get all these put away, and then I'll show you some other goodies. I am back. I'm just repositioning a couple of bags. I'm going to bring this bag up. It's the smaller of the two. This here is a bag of beef sticks from Paleo Valley, and the reason why this was opened is because some of the meat sticks in here were swapped. These were variety packs from Paleo Valley. You may have seen their ads here on YouTube as well as elsewhere, and sometimes they run specials on their bundles. These are all beef stick varieties. So there's one with bacon as one of the ingredients. So those were taken out of one of these bags. And then a few more of a couple of the other varieties were added. But normally these bags here would be sealed. This is teriyaki. This is the original beef stick. And then this one is jalapeno. So the bacon flavored one was removed, and then a few more of the original and maybe a couple more of the jalapenos were included in this bag. So those are the only three flavors in here. I have had this one before, but I have not had these two flavors, so I will be trying those out sometime soon. But my sister who got these got them a while back, and they had stored them in their freezer. So she actually likes them cold, and I tend to like meat sticks cold as well. So those are Paleo Valley beef sticks. And then someone got a huge box with enough of these bags of cocoa mix to give everyone there, plus someone who is not there, 2 bags. This is a Y'all brand Mama Sue's hot chocolate mix. These are 20 ounce or 567 grams. A Ziploc up at the top. And on the back it has all about the brand. It doesn't say how many servings are in each bag, but this is for a 6 fluid ounce serving. But you all know we do more than 6 ounces for a cup of hot chocolate. I had never heard of this brand before, but I guess someone got a huge load of it online and then had it shipped to my oldest sister's house. And then my oldest sister got several of these fire blankets. I had been thinking about getting one of these. But she got these for my mom, my older nephew, my younger nephew and his wife, and me, plus one for my sisters and my brother who share a house. So she got a bunch of these. This is the tab. Then this has the instructions on how to deploy it. It says for one-time use, but if it's a very minor fire, you could possibly reuse this more than once. But this is a 47-inch square. There might be a couple other sizes available. So it's a fiberglass on the inner side. This red side is a different material. But I had been thinking about getting one of those to go along with my fire extinguisher. And the only other thing left in this bag is a 6-pack of Pepsi. These are 500 ml or 16.9 ounce bottles. Well, this is a combination of several. This was not all from one person, but I just combined them in the bag just for ease of getting them home. So I'm dropping these back into that blue bag, and I'll switch it for the red bag. Got these containers here. Okay, this one will be a better look of that party mix without everything else on top. These are the types of containers that we use at my mosque. So once I finish off everything out of here, I will take these to the mosque. And of course this is just the straight up puppy chow. And this is some of the other little sweets that were in here. This is a pretzel with M&Ms on it. And this is like a candy coated nut. And I have some envelopes here. I just stuck one item in the one envelope along with what was in another item that someone else had given me. This is a Hy-Vee gift card. This is for a grocery store chain that I frequent. They are based out of West Des Moines, Iowa. They have expanded into a few of the surrounding states. And I was given, this is a gift receipt that shows how much is on there. That is $25 on here. And then I already had this picture, but it is my great niece. I will not actually show the picture because she is a minor, but I got another picture of her. This is school year picture. And then there's $35 here. So each note has a different color pattern. There used to be all like just this one, green. But several years ago, in order to thwart counterfeiting, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing redesigned them so that they have additional security features as well as color patterns that make it more difficult to counterfeit. And then there's another envelope here, a bank envelope. Then a couple more 20s. So that cash will go into Yeah, I'm rebuilding my emergency fund because I had used some of that previously. And then I don't know if this was just random, but this is the Pepsi Zero, same size bottle as the other one. I would prefer not to consume a lot of that artificial sweetener. But I'll still drink them. And then this is the regular cherry Pepsi, same size. And an old mailer box was just put down in the bottom to stiffen the bottom of this bag in order to handle the weight of the Pepsis. This is actually an unused postal mailer. So I will save that, because I can use that to mail something. And then this is the HV stands for Hy-Vee. Basically, I love Hy-Vee. So this is another bag that I have in my collection of cloth bags that I can either use for, like when I'm organizing, setting up for my shopping hauls, or I can set it aside and not use it until I need to replace an older bag that has gone to crap. And I have a few other bags like this that I have received several years ago that I have chosen not to reuse because I want to hold them as backup. So this bag is a little bit bigger than the Five Below bags. But I like having a bunch of these bags around just in case I need to replace one of the other ones. Thanks for dropping in, Johnny. Hope to see you another time. But I just wanted to show you what I came home with. I was just checking out this cocoa mix bag. There is a scoop in here. So right there, you can feel the scoop. I just wanted to pull a bag out to look at it, and it's nice that this provides a scoop. And once I'm done with this cocoa mix, I save those scoops. When I had the bigger containers of cocoa mix that had the scoop in it, I had taken those to the mosque for use in spice containers to scoop out the spices. So I may do that with these scoops. Or I just may buy a few more of the kind like I bought last year before Ramadan. I got a couple of different sets of them off of Amazon. They're bigger, they have longer handles. So I may get those because the handles on these ones are kind of small, but I will still hold on to those scoops because they'll still come in handy. I thought it would be fun to show you all these things. And the fact that some of these items like this fire blanket were something that I had been wanting to get. I just had not told anybody outside of YouTube. I'll take the bag away so this is Velcro at the bottom. And there's a hook in here. It's a sticky back hook. And then there's this blue plastic material that was just put on here for shipping purposes. But because I live in an apartment, I may do something else in order to hang this. But this is the side of the fire blanket that you put on top of the fire. So I believe that's it. But these tabs are attached to the blanket itself. I'm just reclosing the Velcro. But I just want to go ahead and take this out of that plastic bag to show you a little bit more what it looks like outside of that plastic. What I might do is stick some of the command strips up, or I may I think there's a place that already has this screw partially sticking out that I could go ahead and hang this on, where I don't have to put something into the wall. In order to mount this. So I'm going to figure that out. That way, if I leave here before, if I have to move out before I ever get to use the fire blanket, I can still have that hook and use it elsewhere. Or I could put some command strips on it, which have the little tabs that if I went to release it, I just pull down on that little tab that is the bottom of the strip. Like you put those hooks on, you pull that little tab down, and then that actually changes something in that strip itself and forces that adhesive to release without leaving any kind of a mess or pulling paint off the wall. So that's how I'm going to most likely do that. But I will definitely hold on to this hook. And I may wait till, now tomorrow I go to the mosque. I might go ahead and use this gift card, or I may wait till January to use it. I'll figure that out. Later on, but I thought I would go ahead and I just want to show you all what I came home with, and I'm going to put these back down here in this red bag. I'll put the pop in the fridge 1 6-pack at a time. And I think that'll pretty much do it for now. And this Sunday I will be back with my regular Sunday night dinner. And I will be deciding which ration I pull out of my stash at that time. Well, Mike Crasher, you missed all the goodies. You'll have to catch the replay. But basically what I did was I brought out everything that I brought home from last night, with the exception, I did not bring back certain things that I ate while I was there because there wasn't a whole lot of that available, but my turkey and beef pepperoni and that panini style cheese that I had cut up into smaller pieces, I had arranged those 3 items on a plate, and I took the plate to do that on. And then last night last night, the night before last night, my oldest sister came by and picked up a pack of the beef bacon for making the bacon wrapped Little Smokies, bacon wrapped water chestnuts. And then I had taken over the pickle balls. I thought that would be something fun for her to see, and she actually liked them. But she went ahead and let me have the rest of the bag. No one else wanted to take any of those home, but that's okay. I did not bring back a couple of the cheeses that were there. I just brought back the cheese that I had taken there. I brought back what was left of the beef bacon wrapped bites. I brought back the snack mix, which is basically I'll bring these out. This one is a cereal coated in chocolate and powdered sugar. It goes by the name Puppy Chow, and there may be other names for it. This is a party mix. That one of my sisters puts together. And then this is just a mix of like chocolate or candy coated items. Then I brought back a few cookies. I brought back some of another one called puff corn that was dipped in a white chocolate. And I brought back some crackers. And then some tortilla chips that I dipped into the two different cheese dips that I had. One was the chili cheese dip, which we always have every year, and then a new one that one of my sisters tried was called a buffalo chicken cheese dip. So I brought some of that back. And then my mom made a fruit salad, which actually has a small amount of cheddar cheese on top. And that surprisingly works. You wouldn't think it would, but in the small amount that she puts on there, it does. And then some mixed fruit. I had some of that as well. And then I showed the items that, in addition to these that I had received, like 3 6-packs of Pepsi, a fire blanket, 2 bags of cocoa mix, a couple of different envelopes with cash in it, a Hy-Vee grocery store gift card, and then I had mentioned that I handed out a bunch of Olight flashlights. And then I had given some others as wrapped gifts. 2 of them are going to an in-law's house for the 2 kids. And then I gave my niece 2 others to give to the parents who were not there. So they're getting them today. And then I had given my mom a couple of puzzle books, which she loves to do. One regular print, one large print. So she's got one of each in case she feels like the large print one, or she can switch off back and forth between them. And that's what I took with me to give away. And I also brought home Paleo Valley beef sticks. But the bag that I got was open because some of them were swapped out and others put in because I don't eat pork, so I came home with the original beef, the teriyaki beef, and the jalapeno beef sticks. So my sister who got them several months ago and had them stashed in the freezer. So I will be keeping those in my fridge. I like the meat sticks cold. So does she. And this is a cocoa mix that I had never heard of. There's a scoop inside the bag. So that makes it handy. So in addition to that container of cocoa mix that I bought, I now have a bunch more. So it may take me a while to go through. I may actually get into one of these because I've never tried this brand. So I may go ahead and get into one of these and then sit on the other bag because I brought two of these home. And then I will leave that cocoa mix that is in the container, the plastic container that's sealed. I'll leave that in there. And if I ever go through that one, I could put this inside that container. That's another thing that I could do with it. So I just wanted to show you all that stuff. So for those who did not catch it live at the beginning, once this becomes available for a replay, you can check all that out. Hy-Vee grocery store gift card. I will probably wait till January to use that. It's got $25 on it. But I just wanted to come on here this afternoon and just do a pop-up live for those that are not going anywhere today. I figured if someone who does not actually celebrate Christmas, like I don't, but because my family does, I go hang with them. And I still like to give gifts for someone who just might have been looking for a live stream to hang out in. I want to go ahead and do a little bit of a pop-up live and share my lunch, which is basically snacks that I had last night. And I will continue to eat those until they're gone. And it just gives something a little different for viewers to do. And the beef bacon wrapped Smokies and water chestnuts. These toothpicks will not get thrown away. I will actually kind of clean them off a little bit, let them dry out, and then they will go into one of my wood bags as kindling. Because I don't want to waste a perfectly good piece of wood if there comes a time where I actually might have to have a little fire in my twig stove or my little folding grill out on my deck. And I would have to be as discreet about that as possible, but it can be done. So I figured I'd sit on those. I do not just throw those away. Plus, they would poke holes in the trash bag, and I just don't want that. So that's what I do with those toothpicks. So I'm going to go ahead and put all these things away. I'm going to figure out how to mount my new fire blanket, which is something that I had been wanting to get. I told people here on YouTube that I had been thinking about getting one. I just hadn't done it yet. And my oldest sister decides to go ahead and buy some for gifts, and I was one of those who got one. So I'm thinking that my family is starting to get a little bit more into at least some kind of semblance of preparedness. I gave away some Olights last night. So now everybody in my family, plus a few in-laws, either have them or will have them shortly. So they will have a light that they can carry with them on the daily. My oldest sister keeps hers that I gave her for her birthday in her car, which is a good place to have a flashlight because she hadn't kept a flashlight in her car before. Now she's got one there. And I'd given my mom a couple of puzzle books. So that's pretty much what my night was like last night. We had apple cider that someone had brought over. And that was really good stuff. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. I will be back Sunday, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. And it will be a regular ration review. I'm not sure which one I'll pull out yet, but I will come up with one. I got a little bit of cash to add to my emergency cash stash. That's always a good thing. I used to immediately spend any gift money I get on preps, but I have been stashing it at least for some time before I actually use it. And the last time I had to use it was last year at the end of Ramadan in order to get a hotel room for a couple of nights because I needed to move more stuff out of my living room and the kitchen so that repair work can be finished before all that flooding mess is taken care of. So I had to put stuff on my bed, and I had stuff in my bathtub, so I couldn't sleep on my bed or take a shower. So I got a couple of nights in a hotel room, and that's what I was able to pull off, but that was just enough. And so I went to get that little bit of emergency cash built back up. So I got 35 from one person, from another. So that's going to help me get my emergency cash built back up. And that's always a good thing. It would be nice to be able to have a whole lot more put aside, but it's just something I'm not able to do right now, but a little is better than nothing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call this one good. I just had coffee off to the side, so I didn't have anything special to drink. My sodas are not cold, so I didn't crack one of those, but I'll put one of those 6-packs in the fridge. And the others will just be left at room temperature until I feel like putting another 6-pack in the fridge. But I'm going to go ahead and call this one good for now. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. And for those who were not able to join me live but catch the replay of this, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And come back Sunday, 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time for my regular Sunday night dinner. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.